You guys have to stop and get ice cream on the way up? Or? Oh, there you go. All right, good morning. It is Tuesday, January 13th. It's 9 a.m. and we are going to start the regular session meeting of this Board of Supervisors. Do we have any additions to the agenda?
Chair, there is a request to add an item to your agenda under the closed session. It would be under Government Code Section 54956.9, Conference with Legal Counsel, Anticipated Litigation, Initiation of Litigation, a decision whether to initiate litigation under Paragraph 4, Subdivision D of 54956.9.
Thank you, Counsel. Do we have any questions, comments from the board? Would entertain a motion to add the item to the agenda.
I move that we kick up this item when the meeting goes close after the close meeting.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
A second.
Perfect. We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Rogers?
Yes.
Supervisor Poitras?
Aye.
Supervisor Wampum?
Yes.
Supervisor Gonzalez will be late. Chair McCulley?
Yes.
Vote passes 4-0.
Thank you. With that, Counsel, can you please read the closed session items into the record?
Yes, Chair. Under Government Code Section 54956.9, subsection D1, there's existing litigation, J.A. minor, and through her guardian ad litem versus the County of Madera, an Eastern District U.S. Court case, number 121 CV 00252. There's conference with real property negotiations, 2 items under Government Code 54956.8. The properties are 117R Madera 93637 and assessor parcel number 047101012 and 047101013. One of the negotiating parties is Joel Holiday and Bonnie Holidays, trustees of the Holiday Family Revocable Trust. The agency negotiators are Andrea Martinez, Deputy Director of Operations, and Joel Boguet, your Assistant County Administrative Officer. Under negotiations for that property is price in terms of payment for the purchase, exchange, or lease of property. The second agency negotiator is Dominic Turbowski, Director of Public Works, and Joel Boguet, Assistant County Administrative Officer. The negotiating parties are California, the Department of Transportation specifically, known as Caltrans, and under negotiation is price in terms for the purchase, exchange, or lease of that property. You have conference with your labor negotiators. Your agency designated representatives are Joel Boguet, Shanika Dixon, and Sabrina Mendez. Employee organizations, all units and all unrepresented employees, excluding elected officials, is what will be discussed. And the last item is under Government Code Section 54957, Public Employee Discipline, Dismissal, Release, and Complaint. Thank you.
Thank you, Counsel. With that, we will retire into closed session.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
Before we retire into closed session, I want to open up for public comment. Do we have any public comment in the room or online? All right, hearing none, we will retire into closed session. Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
All right, welcome back. It is 10 o'clock, which means it's time for our regular session of the Madera County Board of Supervisors. Before we get started, council, do we have any reportable action at a closed session?
Yes, Chair, members of the board, I'm reporting out on the subsequent need item added to today's Board of Supervisors agenda. On a motion by Supervisor Poitras, seconded by Supervisor Rogers, the Board of Supervisors unanimously voted 5-0 authorizing the County Council's office to file for an inspection warrant as well as seeking a temporary restraining order to enjoin an unlawful and dangerous operation and events occurring at 18742 Road 21 in Madera. Thank you.
Thank you, council. At this time, I'll look to my colleagues for anybody that would like to open and close in memory of. Seeing none, we're going to go ahead and move on to our invocation and Pledge of Allegiance. I'll invite Pastor Sebastian up from the Oakhurst Lutheran Church, and we'll ask my friend Tristan Champ to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
First of all, I'd like to thank you for inviting me to do the invocation. The word invocare means to call into, and you never can go wrong calling God into a meeting or a group of people. So let us pray. Dear God, as we come together today, we give you thanks that instead of us having to go to you, you came into our world. As we begin a new year, we thank you for where we live, especially that we can see your fingerprints in gorgeous sunsets and sunrises, in double and triple rainbows and bright snow-capped mountain peaks. We give you thanks that we live in communities where we can see human fingerprints of kind, generous, and loving neighbors that are doing your will and serving with your words and actions. But as we begin a new year, we also know that we can see human fingerprints that make our world less than what you wanted. For that reason, we have people at all levels of governance that have been elected with a responsibility to make decisions and policy to remove or lessen the impact of those fingerprints. So today we ask your blessings upon our supervisors, who will need to make those decisions and policies in this coming year. Guide them with your wisdom and grace. They will have difficult choices to make. Help them to maintain fairness, justice, and equality for all in their words and in their actions. Protect them from prejudice and inappropriate influence. Help them to choose your paths and will, that we all might have life the way you intended for us to have. Give your presence and direction. Amen.
Thank you. Tristan? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Excellent. With that, we're going to go ahead and move into public comment. The first 15 minutes of each regular session are set aside for members of the public to address the board on any matter under the jurisdiction of the board, but not appearing on the agenda. The board will not take action on any items presented under public comment. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. Anyone addressing the board is asked to print their name clearly on the speaker sheet at the podium and state their name and county of residence for the record. Do we have any public comment at this time? Any online? Hearing none, we're going to go ahead and move on to the consent calendar. All matters listed under the consent calendar are considered to be routine and will be enacted by one motion. Do any of my colleagues wish to pull an item for further discussion? Seeing none, do we have any public comment on the consent calendar? Any online?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please. A motion by Supervisor Rogers and a second by Supervisor Poitras. Supervisor Poitras.
Thank you. So sorry.
Supervisor Rogers?
Yes.
Supervisor Poitras?
Aye.
Supervisor Wamhaugh?
Yes.
Supervisor Gonzalez?
Yes.
Chair McCauley?
Yes.
Vote passes 5-0.
Thank you very much. With that, we're going to move on to our discussion items. And our first item is item 8A.
Board of Supervisors Department presentation of a proclamation honoring January 2026 as National Mentoring Month. Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Central California.
Excellent. And I do understand we have a couple members from Big Brothers Big Sisters. I'd like to invite you up to the podium for just, if you have some words you'd like to share with us. Good morning, and thank you for joining us.
you for this honor. My name is Zenia Brizendine, Director of Programs for Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central California. As a native of Madera County, it's a privilege to be here before you to accept this award. Big Brothers Big Sisters is a one-to-one mentoring program for those that may not be aware. We are here to serve the community, to serve the youth, and we're just very excited for all the things to come in 2026. Thank you.
Thank you, Zedia. Do we have any comments from my colleagues at the board?
Yeah, mentoring is an important part of our society, and it's part of nature. You know, in Africa, they removed the older elephants from the herd, and the younger bulls started acting up, and they realized those were their mentors, teaching them how to act. And we know that in our society, young people need guidance, they need direction, and they need it from multiple sources, but they need it from people who've been around the block. And it's important that we take that part. And I would encourage fathers to be fathers, mothers to be mothers, and encourage people to take up the mantle of encouraging young people to be what they need to be. And it should be part of our daily life. Find somebody, they'll find you. If you'll just look, they'll be there. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor. Any additional comments? Yeah, I will say, very fortunate myself to have a number of great mentors in my life. One of them is here today, Supervisor Tom Wheeler. So thank you, Tom, for everything you've taught me. But, you know, going back to my father and in college, different mentors that have been a major impact on my life. So it's such a great opportunity to just take the time, say hello, be a mentor. So definitely encourage everybody to do so. With that, we're going to go ahead and move out to public comment. Do we have any public comment in the room or online? Okay, hearing none. If you like, we'd love to take a quick photo with the proclamation. Excited to get back in there.
Board of Supervisors Department discussion and consideration to adopt a resolution designating Madera Community Hospital as a safe surrender site.
Thank you, Chair Matt Trieber, your CAO. The item here, again, is much clarification and calling out Madera Community Hospital as a safe surrender facility. The previous hospital had been identified, and this just removes any potential concern over it closing and then reopening. And so, hence the item before you to adopt and consider the Madera Community Hospital as a safe surrender site.
Thank you.
For any questions.
Do any of my colleagues have any questions, concerns?
Hey, Chair, is this something that is a required designation for some sort of state policy regarding being a safe surrender site that the county or jurisdiction thereof needs to actually designate it? Or is this more symbolic?
Correct. Under Health and Safety Code 1255.7, it does require the board and entity to identify it as a safe surrender site.
Thank you for that question. Do we have any other comments, questions from the board? All right, hearing none, we're going to go out for public comment. Do we have any public comment in the room or online?
Online.
Okay, seeing no public comment, we'll bring it back for action.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
We got a
Sorry.
motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Rogers?
Yes.
Supervisor Gonzalez?
Yes.
Supervisor Wamhaugh?
Yes.
Supervisor Portress?
Aye.
Chair McCulley?
Yes.
Vote passes 5-0.
Thank you for that. We're going to move on to item 8C.
Community and Economic Development Department Planning Division, second reading to adopt an ordinance amending Chapter 14.04 of Title 14 of the Madera County Code relating to uniform building codes.
Thank you. Jamie?
Members of the board, Jamie Dax with Community and Economic Development. This is a second reading of the code update. As we all are aware, we have a new code cycle for the building code, went into effect January 1. This is simply a, a cleanup of that code section to recognize anytime we do update the code or the state does up the code, we are consistent with those code cycles. So Will and I are here to answer any questions that you might have about the building code. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. Do we have any questions, comments? Yes, sir.
One of the things that I've given some thought to is the idea of having pre-approved plans, and I know we have some of those for like ADUs, and I would also like to see us develop something in terms of a pre-approved like garage plan. I know that something like that, because right now it seems like every beam has to be calculated by an engineer, and a garage is something that's pretty standard. I mean, you get the 16-foot opening. We could have a pre-approved beam that would work for that opening, and it would save taxpayers money in terms. I don't want to cheat the engineers, but they're getting, they get plenty. It saves time and it saves money, and it's big time. Anything else like that we can think of that's a regular occurrence that we could save the taxpayers time and money, also saves us time in terms of checking. I mean, we can look at that and say, well, that's our pre-approved plan. We don't need to worry about calculating that out. So I think that would be a good option. I know that's not totally within code, the realm of code, but I think it is. It is code. So anyway, my thoughts.
We can definitely look into that. Thank you for that comment. Just for clarification, the ADU plans, those were grant funded, so we'll look into a similar program to see what other plans and or grant opportunities are available to prepare those.
I'd also like to say I really appreciate Will and what he does in that department. He's so accessible and willing to answer questions. I really appreciate that aspect of customer service. He's awesome. Thank you, and your staff. Thank you.
Excellent. Do we have any additional comments, questions? Okay, I will build on that a little bit, and I want to thank Will for coming up the hill last week and meeting with contractors up here to talk about not only some of these changes, but just more broadly, how things are going with the building department and the planning department. So thank you for taking that extra time. Really do appreciate it. I think it makes all the difference, when our contractors have the information they need. So with that, we'll go out to public comment. Do we have any public comment in the room? Thank you. Come on up.
John Perro at Wani. I'm just daisy chaining off what Supervisor Rogers said. I was amazed. I had to do some corporate stuff recently. Got on I call it Dr. AI or Professional AI or whatever. Wrote it up, got it all done. I thought, well, I just eliminated an attorney right there. Not attorneys are bad or anything. But why can't we do something like that in the county? With the advance of AI and all the tools that we have for pre-approved things, I think of things like a metal carport. For crying out loud, why do I need a permit for a metal carport?
Right.
Anyway, just something to look at, use the AI tools that we have, and boom, we could probably streamline a lot of stuff and get a lot of stuff done and save some money. So, all right.
We're all about that, so thank you, John. Appreciate it. Any additional comments? Come on up, sir.
Good morning. My name is Wayne Hart. I'm a registered nurse at Madera Community Hospital. We opened up again in March, and we're trying to get our designation in place for safe baby surrender.
I think we already pass that item. So this is in regards to the building code is what we're
Oh,
taking
okay, I'm
public comment
sorry,
on.
sir.
That's quite all right, but if you'd like to chat more after the meeting, we're happy to chat with you.
Okay,
But would let you know that that item did pass for safe
very
surrender.
good, thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. Do we have any comment online in regards to item 8C?
None online.
Okay, hearing none, we will bring it back to the board for action.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Gonzalez?
Yes.
Supervisor Wamhaugh?
Yes.
Supervisor Rogers?
Yes.
Supervisor Poitras?
Aye.
Chair McCauley?
Yes.
Vote passes 5-0.
Thank you very
Excellent.
much. Thank you, Jenny.
As I understand it, our presenter on item 8D is just a few minutes, or are you going to handle this one, Sheriff?
It says DA. I was wondering.
Chairman, if you like, I believe I can handle this for her.
Absolutely,
She
please.
is unfortunately a little bit delayed.
Please, so we're going to go on to item 8D.
District Attorney's Department, Military Equipment Policy Ordinance, introduction of an ordinance to add section 2.25.030 to chapter 2.25 of Title II of the Madera County Code pertaining to the Madera County District Attorney's Office, Bureau of Investigations, acquisition, and the use of military equipment as defined in Assembly Bill 481, waive the first reading and set the second reading for February 3rd, 2026. Discussion and consideration to approve the continued use of specific equipment covered by the Madera County District Attorney's Office, Bureau of Investigations, Draft Military Equipment Policy 706 and AB 481 that is currently used by the Madera County District Attorney's Office. Discussion and consideration of entering into an agreement with the City of Fowler for the purchase of 9 surplus rifles in the amount of $350 each and authorize the District Attorney to sign.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Sheriff?
Morning, Chairman, members of the board. DA Moreno is unavoidably running just a few minutes late here, but I can introduce this item as we work closely with him. So as this board knows, January 2022, Assembly Bill 481 requires law enforcement agencies, including the Madera County District Attorney's Office, to submit the board an annual military equipment report for each type of military type equipment that is used by the agency. Military type equipment is fairly broadly defined. It's equipment we use every day in law enforcement policing. So drones are not your military type drones. It's the typical consumer type drones that you see. In May 17, 2022, the board approved a section 2.31.040 authorizing the Sheriff's Office acquisition and use of military equipment. And so the District Attorney is asking or requesting that we add a parallel ordinance to the Madera County District Attorney's Office at section 2.25.030. DA Moreno is asking that the board approve the District Attorney's Office draft of military equipment policy, which is attached to the packet, which includes the use of the specified equipment that's covered in the policy and AB 481. Those items are currently in possession and currently being used and properly trained and purchased. District Attorney's Office requests that this board approve DA Moreno purchase 9 surplus rifles. These are purchased from Fowler at a discount, and the DA's office will use these to assist in search warrants and other law enforcement activity. There'll be no impact to the general fund. The firearm purchase total $4,900, of which 50% will be paid out asset forfeiture, 50% paid through the District Attorney's Welfare Fraud Investigations Fund. I'm here to answer any questions that the board may have.
Thank you, Sheriff. Do we have any questions, comments?
Yeah, I do, Chair. Sorry, and you probably are aware, but do their investigators have a rifle policy currently? Or do they fall under the sheriff's rifle policy?
Yeah, so they're currently either have implemented or implementing the Lexipol policy. So before these are deployed, they will have a appropriate policy as well as meet all the training standards as required by post.
So outside of Lexipol, are they, do you know if they're take home? Are they storing them in a safe? Are these, how does the sheriff's office currently do it right now? Are they going to mirror the sheriff's policy regarding the rifle implementation?
Correct. I had a discussion previously, and they will keep them either secured in a safe, either in the house, or secured in the vehicle in some sort of locking mechanism, so they can't be window smashed and taken or anything like that.
Okay. I just get weary when people who don't normally deploy rifles are now going to be, we're going to have 9 rifles floating around, because we all know kind of how that can happen if they're not regularly being deployed.
Most of the employees from the district attorney's office are laterals from other agencies, so they have other general law enforcement background. I'm actually not aware of any that are direct right out of the academy. So
No, I
most of them
understand
have
that.
some-
I'm just saying, if you're not regularly deploying a rifle, they tend to get misplaced if you don't pull it out for 6 months. And that's what I don't want, a misplaced gun or anything like that. If you could speak on AB 41, this was just, is this kind of what precipitated is scary military equipment being used with our local law enforcement? So now we need to notify the public of our scary military equipment?
That's correct. So, well, I'll leave out the scary part. So this is typical law enforcement equipment that's used every day by law enforcement, all your armored vehicles, regular patrol rifles, drone equipment, and a bunch of other specified equipment that's used every day by law enforcement. In certain jurisdictions, they view this as, I'll use your words, as scary, and so they want to make sure that the Board of Supervisors has some input and some say, as well as the public is made aware of what's being deployed within their communities. As part of this, it requires this hearing as well as some advertisements in the newspaper for a public hearing. So district attorney's office and our office will have a public hearing where the public can come in, ask questions. Usually they'll have some of the drone equipment and other stuff set out so that the public can see it.
Great. I just never want to miss an opportunity to highlight our state and all the policies that they enact when it comes to their general anti-law enforcement stance, especially on the local level, because it was a few years ago, I think it was in 17 or so, when it became popular to demonize the militarization of our local law enforcement, which is really just giving them tools in order to do their job at a discounted rate because the federal government already has this equipment. So
that does make a lot of jurisdictions nervous. Matter of fact, one of the pieces of equipment we have was from a jurisdiction in the Bay Area that didn't want to approve the use of this armored vehicle, which provides protection to the public and the responding officers, or in our case, deputies. So we're able to acquire that piece of equipment for free of cost with this board's approval and support. So we sincerely appreciate this board's continued support to keep our deputies and the public safe.
I guess we'll be happy that the Bay Area hippies refuse that equipment so we can keep it all. Thank you.
For those comments and those questions, Supervisor. Supervisor Rogers?
Yeah, I just want to say that I believe our law enforcement should have every asset available to them to do their jobs and to more than adequately face any threat that is out there. And we're dealing with a world that's a little bit different. And I don't ever want us to end up like we did when, if you remember, the impetus for issuing of these type of rifles was the LA bank robbery, and these men were equipped with body armor, and a number of people were shot and killed, a number of officers went down. I don't want our officers to be in that position ever. We should have every and more that is available to the public and to the military as well, because we are dealing with paramilitary situations, paramilitary organizations. We're confronting these issues on a high level. I did have one question. When they purchase these weapons, they examine them for wear and all of that. And what condition would you say they're in?
Yeah, so they're in fair good condition. So
Okay.
they're not brand new, but
Right.
you know, typically these types of rifles have a very long life,
Right.
and they should serve them well for many years.
Good. Yeah, I just want to make sure that we're equipping our people with the best. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
You bet.
Thank you for those questions and comments. Unless we have any other comments, questions from the board, we're going to go ahead and move out to public comment. Do we have any public comment in the room? I believe we have none online.
None online.
Perfect, so we're going to bring it back
Move
to the
to
board.
approve.
And I would like to make a motion with a caveat that before the rifles are implemented in the field, that they at least match or have a take-home policy that either mirrors the sheriff's office or has their own policy regarding safe, secured storage of those rifles.
I'll second that.
Okay, so we have a motion by Supervisor Walmoff and a second by Supervisor Rogers. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Wamhaugh?
Yes.
Supervisor Rogers?
Yes.
Supervisor Poitras?
Aye.
Supervisor Gonzalez?
Yes.
Chair McCauley?
Yes.
Vote passes 5-0.
Excellent, thank you. With that, we're going to move on to item 9, which is pending legislation. Do we have any-
No pending legislation.
Okay, excellent. Hearing no pending legislation, we're going to move on to supervisors and staff reports. We'll start to my right with Supervisor Rogers.
Yes, today we are christening the AutoZone opening in Chowchilla. 40 acres of prime development for commercial, and they've done an amazing job. I believe there's 1 million square feet there, or close to it, and 300 jobs that are high-paying jobs. And this is something that I worked on 30 years ago, so it's interesting to me to see it come to fruition after all these years. You know, something that you've had a hand in many years ago, and thought processes went through the channels, and now it's coming to fruition. It's kind of nice to be around to see that happen. So we look forward to that today. And thank you.
Thank you for that. Supervisor Gonzalez?
Yes, thank you, Chair. I attended the CAPMC Board of Directors meeting last week, and I wanted to report that I also attended the Yosemite Renaissance art exhibit at the Arts Council this last weekend with Supervisor Poitras. Great exhibits there, just showcasing the beautiful backyard that we have here in Yosemite. So I think the exhibit is there until mid-February, I believe. So please, if you have a chance to go and enjoy it, or go to Yosemite, either or. I also attended the annual prayer march. I caught the tail end of it, and it's where a group of lots of local churches pray for the city and its representatives and the first responders and all of that. So great event's been happening for many, many years. And I also wanted to announce that this Sunday, the Martin Luther King Host Committee, which I think is spearheaded by the Madera County Superintendent of Schools, will be having their annual Martin Luther King program at the MLK school here in Madera. Great event, lots of great student speakers. So if you have the chance, that'll be taking place, and we'll share that on our social media. That's all I have to report. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Supervisor. Supervisor Walla?
Yes, I was recently appointed to the National Association of Counties Justice and Public Safety Steering Committee, and I had my second meeting with them on last Wednesday, and it's quite interesting. Half the people on that steering committee are very pro-public safety, and the other half are, I'll say, anti-public safety. So it's a strange mix for a public safety steering committee, but everyone wants their voices heard. But I'm going to be doing what I can on that policy board to try and bring common sense and safety back to our counties on the national level, or national policy level. So to be determined on that. But I also want to announce that as of last Monday, Madera has a new CHP commander, Tim Santoro. He was just promoted to that role, and just for the Valley Floor area. And so I had an opportunity to meet with him and the sheriff yesterday, had a nice intro meeting. And so this is our 4th commander in 3 years. It seems that the Madera area is kind of a stepping stone for these CHP commanders who are looking to get promoted. So I'm hoping we're going to have a little more stability with this one, at least a couple years before he punches the clock and retires. He's from Madera. So that's good that we have someone with local ties and knows the issues, knows the problems, and we're really going to do a big effort to increase traffic safety, neighborhood safety along those major corridors, the 41, Avenue 12, all the major issues. 30% of all fatalities in Madera County still happen on the 99, so that is going to take up at least 30% of those resources to combat that issue. So understanding that resources with CHP on the state level ever since COVID are down. They shut down multiple academies during COVID, and they are still operating at a 10% deficit, which is about 1,200 officers statewide. So with that being said, we understand that the challenges that they have, and we're going to do the best that we can to keep our community safe with traffic safety despite the challenges. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Supervisor.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yesterday, in the afternoon, we had our quarterly EDC meeting, Economic Development Commission meeting. We heard from Nathan Alonzo from PG&E, and he had some really good information in regards to some of the hardening efforts that PG&E is engaged in. Obviously, there's not enough money to have everything done the way we like to have it, but it's progressing. Also heard the news that the Core School Chamber is closing. We have, so hopefully there's the other chambers that are remaining can pick up the slack, but it's something that is not unusual nationwide. It's kind of a trend in regards to chambers of commerce as some of the mom and pops go the way of the dinosaur. Some of the bigger organizations come in, and it's just one of those things. There's just not enough support for the local chambers. Also yesterday in the morning, we had our periodic regional policy committee meeting. It's an 8-county coalition of metropolitan planning organizations plus the San Joaquin Air Group and the Gold Runner people, the rail. And some of the topics included our continued efforts to coordinate funding from Sacramento. As everybody knows, Sacramento has ideas about how wonderful bike lanes are and walking trails and things of that sort that really do not benefit people in rural areas or really benefit people in urban areas as well. There's also, news flash, because of the conflicts between our federal administration and the state of California, we're kind of caught in the middle of that, and so there's a decrease in funding for certain projects that are occurring. We're battling that on both the federal and the state level, and also the decline in revenues for roads, for state roads, even local roads, due to declining gas tax revenue as people go to alternative sources to power their vehicles. So that's we finally have hit a point where we're actually declining as far as statewide tax revenue. The SHOP funds, which go towards state highways, I think they're going to decline next year by 16%. Not only are they declining, but the costs of construction are going up. So that's we're looking for alternative ways to keep up with the costs of construction. So with that, that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor. Mr. CAO?
Thank you, Chair. I do have one item to report for the board, and I think everybody in the room will be excited to hear. And a big thanks to Jared Carter and Andrea Saldati, Steve Dice, and Dominic Tyberski, our Public Works Director, in that yesterday at 2 p.m., the State Route 41 four-lane project was published and is available for bidding out there, and bids will be opened at the end of February, and we'll proceed to the board for construction contracts on that. So that's about 10 years of work, and so kudos to the team down there in Madera that made that happen. So it's exciting times on that one. Still work to be done, but we're one huge step closer.
Thank you. I want to just jump in real quick, and I know it's your turn, but I'm going to jump in anyways. I had an opportunity to review some plans from 2001 that were produced through MCTC, and they called out that in fiscal year 25-26 that the county would be undergoing a 41 expansion project. So I just want to say that's pretty amazing that 20 years ago we were able to say this is when this project's going to happen, and sure enough, here it is. So thank you for that bit of good news. Council.
No report, Chair. Thank you.
Clerk.
Nothing to report, thank you.
Excellent, thank you. Just a couple notes. Core School Chamber is not closing. They're actually consolidating with the Oakhurst Chamber. I was actually very pleased to attend one of their events on Saturday, honoring Diane Bolin with the Core School Village. She's done a wonderful job there for last couple decades, keeping that place open, keeping it vibrant, but she is retired and passing that along to the Picayune Rancheria, and we wish them the best in managing that property. Also want to let this board know that as a result of your support in a letter to U.S. Forest Service Chief Tom Schultz, the Southern Sierra will be meeting with him and his staff on Wednesday to review long-term logging contracts, buffer zones in the WUI around Forest Service areas, as well as Forest Service restructuring. So we're hopeful we can influence and impact some of those areas. Lastly, I'm very pleased. 2 days from now is actually a very special day. A good friend of mine will be turning 70. So I do want to wish Supervisor Poitras happy birthday in advance. And if you can all clear your throats real quick. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. That was really special, especially have Tom here. I
Yes.
mean, you know, he really brings it home. So thank you so much,
The dogs are
Supervisor.
howling from Nippanawasi to North Fork.
Exactly. And by the way, it was Lori Young that announced that in yesterday afternoon's EDC meeting. I didn't make it up, so she's the one who mentioned that there's $4,000 left in the account, but she didn't say anything about consolidating.
Now we all know.
Okay, good. Well, thank you.
Excellent. So with that, we are going to go ahead and call this meeting adjourned. Our next meeting will be February the 3rd, 2026, hopefully in Madera. Thank you all.
Recording stopped.